In the weeks before Christmas this year, I often found myself listening to arguments such as, why should Christians get holidays for their festivals when I as a Jew have to miss a day of school? And, I've never really seen why someone who isn't Christian should be celebrating Christmas at all. Which, on reflection, seemed reasonable enough. Why is it that we put so much emphasis on Christianity? Sure, we used to be a Christian country, but are there still enough Christians about to sustain that definition? With that view in mind, I had a look at the most recent census to see what the statistics had to say. After I'd got a decent idea of the distribution of religions in England, and it had appeared to me that my own estimate was way off, I wondered if other people's estimates would be similar to mine, and if we would collectively be a lot closer to the truth now if we imagined the same distribution 50 years ago. So I did my own survey. And these are my results. What people think about now, what people think about the 1960s, and what we were actually told by the 2011 census. But which of our guesses was closest? Let's imagine that England is made up of only 25 people, each representing 4% of the population. According to my survey, the general view of the 1960s is that most people, just over 17 in our case, were Christian. After that we have 3 atheists, 1.5 Jews, 1 Muslim, and 2 people shared between the other 4 options. In contrast, we believe that now less than 10 of our people are Christian, with 7 atheists close behind, and out of the religions and groups of religions that follow, only 1 is not yet supported by a full hypothetical person. Now take a look at the census. The number of atheists hasn't changed much, but we've gone all the way up to 16 Christians. The only other religion that gets a full person to itself is Islam. That's quite a change. Obviously my data won't be massively accurate. This is only a group of opinions, and they vary quite a lot. On these diagrams, the outer lines represent the maximum and minimum estimates, and the boxes show the interquartile range, the middle 50% of people's opinions. In other words, the smaller the box, the closer the views. In both of my datasets, the variety decreases and the median percentage decreases, but the trends are clear, and it's obvious that people believe Christianity to have been much more dominant in the 1960s than it is now. If we just look at the percentages, then it becomes even easier to see this difference, and to compare trends between all 3 groups. From here we can see that my prediction was generally correct. A lot of the guesses for the 60s were relatively close to the actual values now. However, the estimate for atheism now is a lot closer to the results of the census. That doesn't surprise me, as the fact that atheism has become much more accepted now is general knowledge. One thing that could have reduced the reliability of my data is the sample size I used. I could only find 35 people to do my survey, so this is by no means representative of everyone everywhere. In addition, a lot of my participants were rebellious teenagers like me, so a lot of them were atheists with atheist groups of friends and lacked general knowledge that would have come, for example, from being alive in the 60s. This means that a lot of estimates for 50 years ago were just toned down estimates for now. I also live in the middle of Birmingham, which is famously multicultural, and meant that the majority of people who did my survey were used to the variety of a city and didn't consider more rural parts of England. Finally, as I found out whilst doing the survey, a lot of people just put Christian on the census because they were christened and it's easier as there's no option for agnostics other than would rather not say, which I didn't include when working out the percentages. All the resources and data I used are linked in the description with a full transcript of everything I've said. I got the idea for this project from the InRich website, which is also linked below.